Well, now we're in section 7.4, and we have to order these functions from the slowest growing to the fastest growing. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to take the limits and compare. So if we look at the limit of, as x goes to infinity, of e to the x over e to the x over 2, that equals the limit as x goes to infinity of, when we simplify that, e to the x over 2, and that goes to infinity. So that tells us that in order from least to greatest of these two, e to the x over 2 grows slower than e to the x. Now, let's consider e to the x and ln of x raised to the x power. And we know this, if x is greater than e to the e power, then ln of x is greater than e, taking the natural log of both sides. So that means that the limit as x goes to infinity of ln of x over e, and both raised to the x power, since this figure is greater than 1, then that is going to go to infinity, and that tells us now that ln of x to the x power has a faster growing rate than e to the x. Finally, we have one more to consider, and that is this. X to the x power and ln of x to the x power. We know this. X is greater than ln of x as long as x is greater than 0. So that means that the limit as x goes to infinity of x over ln of x, and both raised to the x power, is greater than 1 as long as x is greater than 0. That's going to go to infinity, so that tells us the growth rate for x to the x power is greater than the limit of x is x goes relative raised to the x power. So in order of letters, our slowest is D, followed by then the next fastest is A, the next fastest is C, and finally the fastest of the four is B. And we're done.